Xbox Game Pass for March, taking a look at 10 titles you should check out. Almost all of these are available to play right away, a couple of them released throughout the month, and I hope you enjoyed this suggestion list of what you should maybe check out if you missed something. So first up, we have Yakuza 0. So this is the first of the Yakuza series to land on Xbox. You're going to be able to get the rest of the games in the future, and it's great that this is finally something that's happening. This is a fantastic, weird, wacky adventure game with a focus on action-packed combat, and then really intense, dramatic elements in the narrative. And then entirely to the side of that are silly mini games, playing arcade games, doing karaoke challenges. It's got like a fun, silly twist to it in a world where you can do lots of side missions or just enjoy the lengthy main narrative aspect of the game. Yakuza is a fantastic series. Definitely check out this one because this is a prequel that kind of kicks everything off. Very great. Here we have Final Fantasy 15. So this is the most recent main big entry in the Final Fantasy series. It's fully available, and yeah, it's quite a masterful sort of title. It follows this boy band as they go, well, not really, but it follows this group of lads as they go out on a very long, epic adventure. It's got all the aspects and trademarks of the Final Fantasy series, but a certain more lively quality to it in terms of the scale, the scope, and the visual design of the experience. It's quite something. Very lengthy narrative, lots of gameplay potential in this one as you're driving around, camping, doing weird things, exploring new places, and of course dealing with giant monsters and enemies along the way, because that's Final Fantasy. This one that's coming up is a bit more casual. This is Fuzion Frenzy, which is a classic sort of party game. If you're familiar with Mario Party, it's kind of like that, but for Xbox. A ton of mini games. This is an original Xbox title, so it is enhanced on the One X if you have it there. Other than that, it is a lot of fun. You can play it with bots like I'm doing here. You can put in real people. You have a great time doing a bunch of, not necessarily silly, but just easygoing party type games. It really is quite an experience, and still worthwhile today to check out because it is quite a lot of fun. And I really wish that they would get the second one on here and maybe do another entry in the series, because this is really a void on the platform, at least in my opinion. And I think this one is quite worthwhile, quite worth checking out. So just download it and give it a play, because it can be a lot of fun to enjoy alone, or if you do have a local group to jump in with, it's also a very good time then. Here we have Bleeding Edge, which is a first-party title that releases in the month. This is a more melee-focused sort of hero battling title. It's multiplayer in nature, and it's got a objective focus to it. So you're trying to capture points on the map. There's a couple different objective playlists, a bunch of different maps, a bunch of different characters, and then you can kind of like mod and enhance and change these characters as you continue battling. You get cool hoverboards to use. It's got great, really neat visuals to it. And yeah, I definitely think this one has a lot of potential, especially to do well through the Game Pass system. Definitely worth checking out. It's just from Ninja Theory, so I mean, they are definitely a hallmark for quality, and I'm very much looking forward to the full release of Bleeding Edge, because, you know, debuting on Game Pass, this one is a prime title for this sort of offering. Another more casual and or family-friendly offering is Super Lucky's Tales. This is an adorable, largely 3D platformer. Sometimes they switch it up a bit, and they have a lot of fun with it. There's a number of DLC options available for it, and the core game itself is a lot of fun. It does have some elements that might be a bit more challenging to it, but for the most part it is a very lovely sort of time. It's got really playful visuals, a great lead character, an interesting sort of narrative, and yeah, I mean, we don't necessarily have a lot of platformers that fill into this particular, I guess, niche audience, because it is something that is really good, I think, for all ages to kind of enjoy. It does have some neat extra puzzle type content to it as you progress and work through it, dealing with these creatures, dealing with these bad kittens, and having a really good time. It's a fun game, and I think it's actually quite well done, and it plays beautifully on the console. So definitely worth checking out for, you know, that type of audience. So here's another one that is releasing in the month. This is Ori and the Will of the Wisps, the follow-up to Ori and the Blind Forest. So if you haven't played that one, jump on it right away. This is an intense platforming title with gorgeous visuals, stunning artwork, and just a really emotionally driven sort of narrative. It does have a lot of content to it in regards to the abilities you gain and the things you do, and it's just really fantastic. The first one, they really did a great job with that definitive edition, adding the extra content, blowing it up, adding more options so that anyone can enjoy it, but there is a bit of a challenge to this one as well as you go into the world, dealing with giant creatures, fighting off little monsters, taking in beautiful, vast backdrops. It's definitely one to watch out for, and it's going to be one of the highest acclaimed titles, I think, of this year. It's definitely, you know, it's got a lot going for it when it does release. Here's a title. This is Crackdown 3. So you get the single player / co-op, so you can play with a buddy if you'd like, and then a multiplayer focused area. So the main story itself is actually kind of well done. It's a generally solid game. If you're not familiar with the Crackdown series, it's all about getting skills by getting kills. So you get a wide range of weapons and tools and fun things, and your super agent kind of gets stronger as you progress in the game. There's cars to drive, there's racing challenges, there's addicting agility orbs to collect. And you will actually get quite a lot of gameplay out of this one. It can be a lot of fun, as long as you don't take things too seriously. You just have a good time with it. I always enjoy the Crackdown games, and I definitely think they are worth you know, checking out. And especially this third one, because I think it's about a year at this point from the launch point of the game. Good luck out there, Agent. Here we have Fable Anniversary, one of the most classic RPG experiences, especially on Xbox. Anniversary brings back that original epic tale with improved visuals and enhancements on One X. It is a really well done RPG where morality comes into play, elements of heroism and darkness as you deal with this guild, and you get stronger as you eliminate opponents. There's so many quests. It is a sort of more linear type RPG, but it does offer you know, kind of hub type worlds which are open in what you do within them. A lot of that British humor. Very well done game, especially the Anniversary version. If you haven't tried it, you're really missing out. And this is a great time to get into Fable, because I feel like we're working towards the next step here. But yeah, Fable Anniversary, definitely worth checking out if this is something that you've missed over the past somehow. A really great title for the platform. Here is Quantum Break. So this is a narrative-driven game from Remedy. They make Alan Wake and just some of the best titles, also Control, if you've seen that one. I really like this one. It's a number of acts, and you kind of make certain choices that adjust things, and it's about time and using time powers. A lot of fun, really interesting combat, where you're running around, gunning, shooting, using little bits of time, whether you're using time to slow down and get that perfect shot in, or you're using time to kind of like block shots from hitting you. It's really quite interesting. I thought it had a really good cast, really interesting characters, and then it's also got this like TV element to it, so it's more than just a game. You can also watch these angles that kind of build up the universe a bit more, and I thought that was a really cool aspect, because Remedy's also always got that kind of like episodic style to it, where they want to be more like a TV show as a game, and I think it works really well here, and I do really suggest checking out Quantum Break, especially since it's enhanced. So good. So the final one is Wolfenstein Youngblood. It follows the two Wolfie kids as they look for their father in the future. This is a great primer to get ready for the next Wolfenstein when that comes out. And also, it's kind of a fun co-op title. It's something a little bit different. It's a little bit wacky. I love the dynamic between the two kids. I think this one's pretty cool. And it's a good, I guess, entryway into Wolfenstein, even though it is fairly different from the other titles. This one's a bit more futuristic, a bit more faster paced, but still well worth it. Good time. I really do enjoy Wolfenstein Youngblood. I played it a couple times, you know, on Xbox and on PC with ray tracing, so definitely worth taking a look at this. I hope you enjoyed this look at Xbox Game Pass titles. If you have other suggestions, let me know, and I look forward to doing another list for the next month. with more exciting games, and I hope this was a good selection where there was a balance between, you know, some more adult stuff, some more kid-oriented things, and just a variety of titles to check out on the service.